Hey everyone, it's day 3, the last day of the brush pen crash course. We are so glad that you're here and that you've been following along with us for the past couple of days. And we have some great things planned for you for today as well. So just a couple of reminders before we get started. We have our brush pen giveaway with 2 winners who will be announced on Friday. So we sent you an email this morning with the entry form for the giveaway, which we'll send a reminder probably tomorrow. And the 2 giveaway winners will be winning a set of brush pens from us, which actually we're talking about those brush pens today. Hey everyone, thank you for joining. Let us know that you're here watching, whether you're watching the replay or you're live. Yeah, so just to recap what we talked about yesterday and the day before, you can rewatch those videos here in the Facebook group. We will also be recording them to put on YouTube. And on day 1, we talked about brush pen characteristics and talked about different styles of calligraphy. And then yesterday we talked about some of the benefits of learning brush lettering and also some of the challenges. And today we're finally going to do some more actual demos of writing with the brush pen so you can see it in action. We're going to talk about some of our favorite brush pen brands, and then we'll end with a Q&A session on our brush lettering bootcamp course, which we announced earlier today. So thank you. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. So we will get started with the first thing, which is kind of a combo of showing you different brush pen brands and talking about their characteristics, as well as demoing each of them. So we're going over 5 brands today. So if you have the worksheets, we have another fun chart to fill out today. So this is the chart that we'll be doing today. We'll talk about each of these pens and fill it in and show you some demonstrations. Yeah, so we're going to be writing a demonstration word for each of the pens and talking about what the pen feels like to write with and some of the characteristics that we went over on the first day, specific to each brand. And so hopefully this will give you some ideas of, if you're interested in brush pens, kind of like a review and to see what would work best for you for a pen to start with. Yes, and this is by no means an exhaustive list of brush pens, not even a list of all of our favorites, but we've chosen these 5 as kind of a variety of sizes. You'll see that they go from small to large, and a variety of ink types and flexibility. So that's why we chose these 5, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go sit at the desk and Jordan will get the camera set up. Okay, so hi everyone again that is joining us. I'm going to flip my camera around and move it over there, so give me just a second. Okay, hello everyone. So this is the first page of the worksheet for today. So Jordan and I will alternate showing you these pens and filling out the chart as we go. So the first one, you may have seen this before on Instagram. It's a really popular one. It's called the Tombow dual brush pen, and this is what it looks like. So first, we're going to just write some Thanksgiving themed words here with each pen just to show you what they look like in use. So the first one for Tombow, I'm going to write the word thankful. So just be kind of watching the pen as I go to see what it looks like, and we'll talk about the characteristics as well. So you might hear, do you hear that squeak of the pen? So that is very characteristic of this Tombow pen, and just because of what the tip is made of, it sounds really squeaky. So if you have these and you've been wondering if you're pressing too hard on them, don't worry, you're not. They do squeak like this. So just in case you are completely brand new to calligraphy, one of the main characteristics is that there are thick strokes and thin strokes. So you can see that as I'm coming down, I'm making thick strokes, and as I go up, like right here, this is a thin stroke. So thick, and then as I go down, it becomes, thin as I go up and thick as I come down. And then horizontal strokes are thin. Okay, so that is the Tombow dual brush pen. This is what it looks like. It's pretty long if you compare it to some of the other ones that we'll be talking about, like this one later on. This one's fairly long in size, and some people really like that because of the weight on the end of it and like the way it feels in your hand. So just to go over the characteristics, this Tombow dual brush pen, let's see here. So the tip size on a scale of small to large is on the large end. The ink type is water based. So if you remember some of the blending tricks that we showed you yesterday, those work really, really well with the Tombow pens. And if you've ever gotten a pack of them and you've found a clear Tombow pen in your pack, then that's the blending pen. So the blending pen is great. So these are very flexible, which can be a point of frustration at the beginning, but like we talked about yesterday, if you are learning, then it's a great one to learn on because it'll make everything you pick up afterwards so much easier. And then other notes, they are dual tipped, so actually right now I'm writing with the bullet end of a purple Tombow. And so it has a brush side and a bullet side. And there are 96 colors. So Tombows are notorious for fraying. I saw someone mention that. So just make sure that you use really smooth paper like we talked about on the first day of this crash course. So that was the Tombow dual brush pen. Okay, now I'm going to switch it back to Jordan to talk about the next one, which is, the Zig Brushable. Okay, so this is the Zig Brushable. It has 2 tips. I'm going to write another word on this paper here. I think I'm going to use the darker tip for this one. Just going to shift Jillian's word up so I have enough room. So I'm going to write the word grateful. So you'll notice that as we're writing, we're going really slowly, and it might seem like we're just doing this for the dramatic effect, but this is actually really how slowly we both write because it takes lots of concentration to get your strokes nice and consistent and neat. Also, if you're brand new to this, then you might see that we're lifting our pen a lot. So calligraphy is different than cursive. For cursive, you keep your pen on the paper, and for calligraphy, you can see how often Jordan's lifting her pen. So anytime she is making a new stroke, even going from like the U to the L right here, lifting the pen. Okay, so compared to the Tombow, let's go back to our chart here. Okay, so the tip size of the Zig Brushable is pretty much the same as the Tombow. They're about the same size. They're both large tip. One big difference, though, is that the Brushable is the pigment ink, which means that it's light fast, waterproof, and will not fade. So this is pigment. And it's a little bit less flexible than the Tombow dual brush pen, so I'm just going to put flexible instead of very flexible. So it's not firm, but it is definitely not as flexible as the Tombow. And then some other notes, it has 2 brush tips, so both ends of this pen are a brush pen. I love that. It's so great. The one side is the full color, and then the other side is 50% of the color, so it's like a lighter version of it. Yeah, so this is the darker color, and then this one is the lighter version of the same color. Okay, next one we are looking at is also by Zig, so I'm switching back to Jillian now, is also a Zig one, but this one's called the Fujibiori, and just to show you the difference here, how much shorter this one is. Oh yeah, you want to see the other side really quick? Did you write? Or in the box that says 2 brush tips, you could just show both colors next to each other. And so here is the darker one, and here's the lighter one. So something that I like to do is use the lighter one and then kind of build the color up by building on top of it and then even going back on the very top to add the darkness to it. Yes, that's a great point. Light fast is really important if you want it to be if you want your work to last. So these won't fade. Okay, so next one is also zig, but this one's called the Fudabiori. And this one is not pigment or light fast. Let's take a look at this one. So lots of these come in some great colors. This one, let's see, I'm gonna write the word family. We're doing sort of a Thanksgiving theme here. So you might already be able to tell that this tip is a little bit smaller than the two above it. Also take a look at the size of the actual pen itself. Mm-hmm. Okay, family. There we go. Yes, purple. Purple, so in case you're new around here, purple is my favorite color, Jillian, and blue is Jordan's favorite color. The next two pens we have are blue. These are, so someone is Trisha's asking if these are juicy. These are pretty juicy. I wouldn't say that they are as juicy as the brushables. But if you compare, even if you just look at like the tips of these next to each other, so these look pretty similar, but if you compare it to other brush pens like the Tombow, you can see a difference of how long the Tombow tip is. The paper that I'm using is Canson marker paper, so you can see through it to the guidelines below. Okay, so just a look at the difference between the tip size and the pen size. So these are awesome because they're so small for transportation. So to fill out the chart for the one we just looked at, the Zig Fudabiori, they are medium large. They're not quite as big if you look at like the thick strokes compared to the other ones that we did. These are water-based, the non-metallic ones. So they have, remember those metallic ones that we showed you yesterday of the same brand? So the metallic ones are not water-based. The flexibility is medium flexibility. And they have 40 colors, 7 are metallic. And something else that's really great about these is that they're really cheap, as in affordable. They're not cheap quality, but they are, the cost per pen is so low that you can get a lot of colors and it doesn't cost nearly as much as buying a full set of some of the other brands and other types of pens. Exactly. Okay, we are going to swap again and look at the next one. So the next one is called the Pentel Sign Pen. So if you have ever come across these before or tried to order them online, something really important to point out is that they have a flexible tip, and there is also a version called the Pentel Sign Pen that does not have a flexible tip. So if you press down on it, it doesn't have the contrast between thicks and the thins. So if you are interested in these, then see how as she goes down, it's thick, and up it's thin. Make sure that you find the right ones on Amazon or wherever you're buying them. And we'll talk about where you can buy them next, actually, because there are a few different places. But these are called the flexible tip or brush tip, or fude means brush. And so that's just an important. So the big obvious difference is that this pen is much smaller than the rest that we've done so far. And so the guidelines that I'm using right now are actually meant for large brush pens, so I really should be using smaller guidelines, but we wanted to put these all on the same paper for you. Celery. That, I guess that would go along with the Thanksgiving theme. Someone asked if, let's see, if the Fudabiori is similar to the Fudenosuke. So the Fudenosuke is the same size as the Pentel that Jordan just wrote with. So they're not the same size, but they're similar, I guess, in flexibility. The Fudenosuke comes with a hard tip Yeah, I would say that Fudenosuke is more firm than the Pentel, and the thin lines that you can get with the Fudenosuke are thinner.
Oh, she was asking about Fudenosuke versus Fudebiyori.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, okay, so let's fill out the chart for Pentel.
Okay, so the Pentel, the size is small. The ink type is also water-based. And the flexibility, I would say, compared to the large brush pens, it feels much firmer, but compared to some other smaller brush pens, I would say it's more flexible. So I'm just going to say like medium firm, maybe. Yeah. Medium firm. And these come in 12 colors.
And the other note, which I touched on at the beginning, is make sure that you get the flexible ones. Do you have a non-flexible one here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, the non-flexible one would just look like a regular pen, like the one that she's writing with now.
Or I think they're also just called like the brush tip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And then the last one that we're looking at, this one, we came across it several months ago, like towards the beginning of the year. Maybe it was in April, and I really like these. They're called the Marvy Color In. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, so really quick, going back to this. The one that she was using is called the Touch, the sign Touch, or it might be called Flexible or Brush Pen in the listing where you buy it. And then the other ones are called sign pens. Okay, so the Marvy one, this is what it looks like. It's pretty thin, like if you look at the size of it this way versus some of the other ones. This one's pretty small. It doesn't really look like a brush pen, it looks like a kid's pen or something. But this is what it looks like. It's the Marvy Color In. And here is what it looks like in use. And this one comes in pastel colors, which is what I'm using now, and regular colors. Oh, I didn't mean to write Marvy. I meant to write together. Whoops. Let me start that over. That's what happens when you talk and write at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna write together to keep with our Thanksgiving theme here. Here we go. So the size of the brush tip on this, if I compare it to the Tombow, you can see how much smaller it is, but it still gets a lot of flexibility, and you can make some really thick strokes. So just a quick comparison here of the different sizes of strokes that you can make with each. So the Tombow, the Zig brushable, the Zig Fudebiyori, and then the Pentel and the Marvy, so all the ones that we've been through. Here's a comparison of the sizes of these. So the Marvy that we just went through is, even though the tip looks smaller, it can get the same amount of thickness because it's pretty flexible. So I'm going to fill in this chart now. So Marvy Color In, the tip size is large, and even though the tip size isn't as long as the Tombow, it can still get the same large brush strokes here. These are water-based. The flexibility, they are flexible, and the way that I think of them is that they're soft. Like, they just feel really smooth and soft when you use them. And there are 38 colors. And you can see here are a couple other of the pastel ones. And then the other ones are more like darker tones like this. I really like these. And so just to take a look at the words that we've written here, you can see quite a difference between obviously the size of this one compared to the others, but for some of them, like these two, the stroke size is fairly similar. So if you're trying to write something this size and you need it to be able to blend with other colors, then you might choose the Tombows because they're water-based. For these, you might choose the pigment ones if you need it to last or sit out in the sun. If you're doing something small like envelopes, then something like the Pentel would be good because of the size. These are very affordable on a per pen basis, plus these come in metallic, and then these are just so much fun to use. So I'm going to, do you guys have any questions about this? Jordan, am I missing any questions here?
I'm answering some of the comments.
Okay, perfect. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see a comparison of these next to each other, and you can use this chart and fill it in with your own pens. So if you have pens that we don't have here on the list, you can just take a look and see what all of these characteristics are. And then if you are working on a project and you need something specific, like the things I was kind of mentioning, you can just look at your chart and say, okay, I need a small pen and these characteristics, and then it might help you find it on your own. So, do you have the marker supply bag? So these pens all happen to be ones that are in our custom brush pen sets that we created with marker supply. So we're going to talk in a second about where you can find all these brush pens, but this is what two of the giveaway winners will receive. So there's a Jordan set, which includes blue and green colors and her artwork on the bag. And then there's a Jillian set, my set, which includes more of the pinks and the purples, and I don't have the bag with me, but it includes my artwork on the front. So the giveaway winner will get to choose whichever set they like. Okay, I'm going to switch to the next page of the worksheet, and we're going to jump to the bottom really quick of where can I buy brush pens. Okay, the Zig brushables do have the felt tip pen, so if I hold it up close to the camera, you might be able to see. It's a similar tip to the Tombow, but it doesn't seem to fray as easily, and it's a tiny bit more firm. So the Tombow frays more. But if you use smooth paper, then it should be fine. Can brush pens be used on Canson mixed media paper? I would not recommend using it on the mixed media paper because from what I remember, it's not as smooth. It's not very smooth. It's almost textured. So I would just recommend using it on the smooth paper, and bullet tip pens can be used on any paper. They don't really fray. Okay. Oh yeah, here's my set. So here's what mine would look like with the artwork on the front and the color pens. I showed you some of these today. Michaels carries a pen called the Artist's Loft pen, and it's pretty similar. It looks pretty similar to the Tombow. I think they're a little bit more firm, and they come in some different tones of colors, but they have the same bullet tip on one side and brush tip on the other. I believe Michaels also has Sharpie brush pens, but yeah, these Artist's Loft ones are great, and they're less expensive than Tombows. So those are found at Michaels. Okay, so while we're on the topic of where we can buy them, let's talk about that. So where can I buy them? So Michaels is a great place to buy, and some of these are just going to be for the US, and maybe we can start a thread here for if you live in a different country. But Michaels, you can get the Tombows, you can get the Artist's Loft, and I think, do they also have the Koi? Well, those are two brands that we get at Michaels, but you can also browse around and see if there's any other brush pens. Usually on the package, they'll have a picture of like the brush tip looking like this. Like if you're wondering whether it's the right kind of pen, if it has a tip that looks like that, or like kind of like that, then that's how you know it's a brush pen that will work for this kind of lettering. Hobby Lobby, once they had like an amazing deal on Zig brushables. What is it, brushables? Yeah, on brushables, but you can find a mix there. Amazon is great. Now, the thing I'll say about Amazon is that they have good prices for sets of pens, but usually if you're trying to just buy like one or two, then they're really expensive. Like I think it's like $6 for one Tombow, but on other sites like Marker Supply, which is one of our favorites, on Marker Supply you can get them like one Tombow for like $2.50, which I know is still kind of expensive for one pen, but it's better for individual pens. So Amazon is great for sets. I think someone was asking about the brushables. I'm pretty sure that they come in 24 pack, which means that there are 48 colors because there's one on either side.
That's exactly what I typed.
Oh. But yeah, Marker Supply is good for individual pens if you're looking for just to try something out. And you can get our brush pen set there as well. Or if you go to lovelyloops.com/marker-supply, you can find it there. It's also pretty easy to find on the Marker Supply website if you just search for any of those pens. Also on Amazon, we do have a collection that just has direct links to some of these pens that we're talking about, just so you don't have to go searching for the right ones. Exactly. So like the Pentel debacle, so that you can avoid ordering the wrong ones. I keep running off the edge of the paper here, but Amazon. We can post these links in the group, but Amazon.com/shop/lovelyloops has a bunch of ours. You can also find them on manufacturers' websites. So for example, Tombow does sell pens directly from their website. And yes, Marker Supply ships to Canada. So Tombow sells pens. They also have a VIP box where you can get access to new supplies before other people and stuff that's not like on Amazon yet. So you can look at tombowusa.com or try out the other places. Another website that's good is Jet Pens. That's where I usually get like my Pentels. And then you can also try looking at and supporting local art stores or just smaller chains, especially if you live somewhere outside of the US. It might be nice to share with other people where you find pens and lettering supplies, because I know that sometimes the shipping costs can be prohibitive from places like Amazon, but Marker Supply does ship to a lot of countries. It might, and if you check out and it's like super expensive shipping for this, then if you contact them, they might be able to help you out. I remember last time we did this, we had a ton of people buy these sets, and they were very generous with how helpful they were with shipping. So you can give that a try. But we will pick the winners for the giveaway on Friday. So maybe if you're thinking about ordering this, wait till then. Okay. Yeah, Blick. Blick is a good one for looking at individual pens. Actually, yeah, I've gotten... Oh, and if you happen to be in the Nashville area, Paper and Ink Arts is a great place, or you can order online.
That's basically Marker Supply.
Yeah, and Marker Supply is actually part of Paper and Ink Arts. Marker Supply generally sells to like other businesses, but they're starting to branch out into selling to more lettering people like us, and that's why we have these awesome pen sets there. Okay, I'm glad you guys have been enjoying this so far. Hopefully you've taken lots of notes for now. And so now we're going to talk about the last two questions, which are, oh yeah, John Neal Booksellers is good too. So the last two questions on the worksheet that we haven't talked about yet are, how can I learn brush lettering, and what are the benefits of learning with this method? I'm actually going to switch this back to our faces. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed the
Yeah, Paper and Ink Arts is in Nashville. Okay, that should be good. Yeah. Crooked. Paper and Ink is in Nashville, and so is Marker Supply. So Marker Supply doesn't actually have like a store, but you can still go in and visit, and they'll let you use the pens. Okay, what are we talking about now? So we are talking about one method that you can learn brush lettering, and this is something that we've kind of been hinting at all week, and we sent an email out about it today. But as of today, our brush lettering bootcamp online course is open. Yay! We already have lots of people signed up, which is amazing, and we're so excited to meet you and work with you over the next several months. But yeah, so learning brush calligraphy online, there are so many benefits to learning online. So of course you can take a class if there's a class in your local area. If someone's teaching a workshop, that's a great way to learn. And then another way to learn is online. So we're going to talk about some of the benefits of learning online. Yeah, so I'm going to start with some of the more practical reasons and then talk about some of the fun things about learning online. So in practicality, learning online, especially like it depends on what kind of course you take, but for ours, you get lifetime access to all the materials and you can rewatch the videos. So even though you're just buying a course for one time, you can watch it like months or years from now and rewatch the videos at your own pace. Maybe we should take a step back and first say that you can actually learn calligraphy without taking a course. You can figure it out on your own. You can just look at examples and practice it. You can there are YouTube videos. We do have some YouTube videos that teach some of the basic things. You can look at different YouTube channels. You can look at different people on Instagram. That's how we kind of started, was just looking at what other people were doing and like wondering, oh, how can I make that, and trying to like reverse engineer it and figure it out on our own. And we had each other, which was really, really helpful because that's one of the ways that we actually learned, is by teaching each other. And so I would learn something and I would teach it to her over FaceTime, and then she would learn something and teach it to me, which is also how we got so good at teaching it, because we were teaching each other. So anyway, you can learn by just observing and seeing what other people are doing. Okay. But like Nancy said, we have spent a ton of time studying brush lettering, and so if it really is something that you're interested in learning, we've put together this amazing online course for you. So yeah, that was a good idea to give more context about this. So the course is called Brush Lettering Bootcamp. You may have seen people referring to it as BLB in the group. And Brush Lettering Bootcamp is an online program that has video lessons and worksheets, and we do have a self-paced version, but what we're opening right now is our coaching program. So it's 6 weeks of guided feedback and lessons, and you get a private student Facebook group with feedback on your work. One thing that we're really excited about for this time is that we are hiring 3 of our past BLB graduates to help give feedback on your work. They're highly qualified, and this is going to guarantee that every single assignment that you submit is going to get feedback, plus we'll do live video critiques to critique your work. So just so you know who they are, the 3 teaching assistants, and you may recognize their names from the group because they're active, are Katie Whittlesey, Laura Bergman, and Sophie Taylor. So we're so excited to have them to help out, and they're just going to help you so much. They've been through the program and they're very qualified to be able to give you feedback. And of course, we'll be in the group every day as well. Yeah. Okay, so we're really excited about that, and also having someone that just took the course. So these ladies have taken the course within the last year, and so having someone, so we weren't beginners that long ago, like about 3 years ago is when we really started learning brush lettering. So we know what it's like to be a beginner, but sometimes it's even more helpful to have someone that was a beginner more recently and that went through our course to help you out even more. So we're thrilled to have these TAs. Yes, so big congrats to them. We're so excited to have them to help out with the course, and it's just going to make it that much more amazing. Okay, so benefits of learning online, if that's something you're interested in, kind of like what we talked about, is that you get access to the materials that you can rewatch. So taking an in-person workshop is awesome, but the bad thing about it is then after it's done, you can't rewatch it or like replay it. So the videos, that's one of our like one of the cool things about learning online. Let's see, what else? Oh, lots of times if like you're looking for a workshop in your city, sometimes they're not offered unless you're like in a big city, and it can be hard with just like a 2-hour workshop to get the feedback that you might be needing. So with this course, we have 6 full weeks to give you feedback on all your work. Yeah. So it's actually, for this round, it's going to be 8 weeks, but we have a 2-week break in the middle over Christmas. Yeah, so it starts, so just again to give some details, the course is going to start December 3rd and end January 26th, and there will be the 2-week break in the middle. Yeah, so having the weekly, so each week will be a new topic that we focus on with our live lessons and also with our critiques. And so that is really great for accountability. I know personally, if I'm not like held accountable or kept on track, sometimes it's hard to follow through. Like, I've signed up for lots of online courses that I started and then I just kind of like haven't finished. Like, I know I signed up for a watercolor online class that has amazing content, but just because like I wasn't able to follow along with it because I wasn't being held accountable, it was hard for me to finish it. So, and actually, if you've taken our self-paced version and you want to join the bootcamp, we've actually had a couple people reach out to us today, then just send us an email and we can get you the details on how to do that. Okay, so some of the fun things about learning online. You can learn and watch the videos while you're in your PJs and while you're eating snacks, and you don't have to be dressed up to go to a workshop. You can be learning whenever it's convenient for you. So we have all these lessons in the course recorded, and we release them so that you can watch them whenever it's easiest for you. And the live videos that we do in the group will be recorded, like these crash course videos, so that if you can't attend something live, then you can always watch it at your convenience. If you guys have questions about the course, by the way, please feel free to put them in the comments and then we can answer them for you. And we would love to hang out with all of you in person, but you know, unfortunately or fortunately, we have pupils everywhere around the world, which is amazing. So yeah, you're right, online will have to do for now. Yes. I am going to put the link in this description in case you, or in the comments in case you are, can you talk? I can't. She's putting the link in the comments and I'm going to talk. So let's see, what should I talk about? Oh, so so I think this is kind of implied based on what we were saying, but the students in the course will have a separate private Facebook group. So the group is just for students in the course, and that's where we do the live videos and everything. And so in the course, or in the group, you will have your own photo album, and in the photo album you will be able to upload your work. Okay, so this is great because, like we said, this is where we'll be able to see your work and give you feedback, but it's also how you can build your own, what we like to call like a digital portfolio, and also keep track of your progress. So the picture that you upload on day 1, which we always have everyone make a before piece to see what you're, to benchmark your progress by the end. So the picture you upload on day 1 compared to the picture you upload on the last day of class, you will be absolutely blown away by your progress, and you'll be able to see step by step how you every single time. I'm just so amazed at the progress. And this, even though this is geared towards beginners, we've had plenty of people who have taken the course who aren't complete beginners, but they're just kind of stuck and trying to figure out how to improve. And even though their before piece might look amazing, their after piece, you can totally tell a difference in the technique and the confidence. So it's pretty amazing. Okay, I saw a question about, were you done? Sorry. Well, I was just gonna say, you said that even if you're not a beginner, but even if you are a beginner, even if the first time you saw a brush pen was today when we were writing it 30 minutes ago, it's still for you because we start from the basics. Yes. Okay, I saw a question about payment. So yes, we have a monthly payment plan and a single payment, and something that we didn't really mention. We mentioned in an email this morning, but we have a discount going on right now, and if you go to the link, the discount will be automatically applied, but it's 20% off now through November 25th, which is our birthday. And so now through November 25th, you can get 20% off either of the payment options, so the full payment or the payment plan. Yep. Oh, Diana asked a good question. Can we still pre-order the book? Yeah, so separate from BLB, we actually are writing a book, and it's about lettering, and it's geared towards people that use planners. So that is available on Amazon, and I think it is going to be actually released in March. Yes. So, yep. Yeah. Okay, what questions, do you guys have any questions about the course? So the link that I just put here, I think if I pin the comment, maybe it will stay at the top. So the link if you click on it, there's a video right at the top that shows you an inside look at the course. So if you're just if you've never taken an online course and you're wondering what it's going to look like, that gives you a sneak peek into the course. And then, as we've mentioned, there will also be the separate private Facebook group where we'll have a lot more. It's 2 live videos every week for 6 weeks, so it's basically like 12.
They usually end up being an hour long because we can't stop talking, but yeah, it's like 12 additional hours
of video lessons. And in the course already, there's like, I think 7 hours, maybe like 6 hours of video in the course. So that's a lot. I mean, that's not to overwhelm you and say that you're going to have to be like glued to your computer watching hours and hours of video. But yeah, there's a lot of amazing content and a lot of helpful tips, even if you are left-handed. So I don't think anyone has asked about have we talked about lefties yet? I don't think we have, but yeah. So one of the common struggles that we talked about yesterday from the survey results of struggles using brush pens was being left-handed. And so we have an actual complete module for lefties because we have taught, even though we're teaching online now, we've taught like probably 20 in-person workshops, and we've had lots of left-handed students, so we've kind of studied them and picked up some ways of teaching that will help you out. So we have a whole lesson just for lefties, and then sprinkled throughout the course we have letter-specific tips on being left-handed. So there's some questions about supplies. Someone said help us with paper, someone said what supplies. Oh, that was both Judith asking that. So to answer that question, there is a supply guide in the course, which I think we also, that's the same, it's the same supply guide that we sent in yesterday's brush pen crash course email. But all you really need for the course is a brush pen and paper to print the worksheets on. Yeah. So even if you just get one brush pen to start, which you'll probably get more than one, but that should be good to start with. And then Dawn asked, for the Zig pens, when I look up Fudobiori, it sends me to Kuretake. So actually, Zig, Kuretake, that is like the brand, or I don't know the difference. It's like Zig is the brand and Kuretake is the manufacturer or something? Yeah, because Kuretake also makes, do they also make the koi coloring brush? Yeah. Or I think Kuretake is like the overall. No, that's Sakura company. So Zig would be, Zig is the sub-brand, I guess, and then Brushables is like the specific under that, because there's Zig Fudobiori and Zig Brushables. So like if you look here, it says Zig and it says Kuretake. So that is the same thing. So should we print the worksheets on HP Premium paper? So you can either print them on good paper like HP Premium and then write directly on the paper. So we have things that you can trace and then the homework assignments. Or if you want to just print the worksheets on copy paper, then you can use something like marker paper like we were using today on top, so that you can still see the worksheets under, but then you're working on marker paper instead, and then you can use multiple sheets of marker paper or tracing paper on top so that you don't have to reprint the worksheets a lot of times. So, yeah. Okay, so Koi is Sakura and Zig and Kuretake are the same. All right, thanks for helping out with that. Yes. Okay. I was going to mention the bonus that we have for BLB. So we haven't really talked about this too much, but something that if you're interested in learning brush lettering in order to make money, so if you have like a vision for being able to sell your work or teach workshops or provide lettering services, we have a completely separate course called How to Make Money with Your Lettering Skills that we are going to include as a bonus if you sign up for Brush Lettering Bootcamp. So we did this last time and we got such great feedback on it. So it's a presentation that we did with real examples from our own business on how we made our first $100 or $200. You'd be surprised at how very surprised how long it took, and things about like ideas for products and services and pricing examples and promotional strategies that you can use, along with a workbook that you can fill out to help you decide if that's something that you're interested in. But if you're just interested in doing brush lettering for your own personal projects or relaxation, we've had tons of students do it for that purpose as well. Yeah, so I think in the webinar we break down like exactly how to get to $200, how to make $200, which happens to be the price of the course. So you would earn back the whole cost of the course just from watching the webinar. Yes. Okay, what other questions do you guys have about the course? So just to go over the details again, so the course starts December 2nd, or is a Saturday, or the 3rd. the first weekend of December, and the enrollment period will close a couple days before that, but the discount period ends on November 25th. So that's our birthday. I already said that, which is why we chose that date. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, so there's a lot more information, if you don't want to remember everything we just said, on the website link that Jillian put. We will be sending a few more emails the rest of this week and next week, just with some more information that might help you decide if it's right for you. If you do have like a specific question, actually I did see someone ask, I think we missed answering the question. It was like, oh here. I'm a calligrapher. Do you think the brush technique would be difficult for me since the other procedures are so ingrained? So do you use, what kind of calligraphy do you do? If you do something like pointed pen, I would say that is easily transferable to brush pen. If you do something like italic calligraphy or other types, it might take a little bit more time to kind of retrain your brain to learn the new skill. It's kind of like, a lot of people know cursive, but once you learn calligraphy, you kind of have to unlearn cursive in order to do calligraphy. You have to remind yourself constantly to slow down. So it's just a matter of unlearning and then relearning it. So I think if you have calligraphy experience, that does give you some advantage because you already have some knowledge of calligraphy. Yeah. Great question. So 2 questions here. When will you be doing another course? So I was actually just about to say this. You read my mind. So we only offer this course 2 or 3 times per year. The last time we offered this one was in May, so like 6 months ago. So the next time we'll offer will be sometime next spring or summer. We haven't decided yet. And then hold on, there was a question before that. Yeah. To make progress, how many hours per week should be dedicated to learning? So talking specifically about BLB, we have broken down by week. On average, there's about an hour of video lessons, pre-recorded video lessons per week. And then we have the 2 live videos per week. So we recommend, if you have time, it's best to practice, I'd rather see you practice 15 minutes every day rather than 2 hours on every Saturday, because the consistency of practicing and getting out your pen every day is going to help build up the muscles in your hand and just help with your consistency. Yeah, even if you just commit to 5 minutes, then you'll probably want to keep going for a few minutes longer. So just getting it out and keeping the practice going is more helpful. Yeah, and one thing that we talked about, I think yesterday, about using brush pens is one reason I love them so much compared to like dip pens is that they're so easy to just like get out and uncap and then you're ready to write. So for a pointed pen, you have to like get out a bunch of supplies. We're not dissing pointed pens. I love pointed pens. I know. I was just thinking like realistically about why I like why I like brush markers better. It's because of how quick it is to. Are the grid sheets part of the download for the class? So yes, we give a whole entire worksheet packet, and part of it includes blank guide sheets that we actually have in a few different options. And every time we do the course, we improve it based on student feedback. So like last time, we had people say that they liked these guide sheets, but they wanted the lines to be darker so that they could see through their tracing paper better. So we have some darker options. So yes, we definitely have those sheets, and then we also have the ones that go along with the videos and homework assignments. So the homework assignment is where you'll be getting feedback on your work. So each week we have an assignment that will help you apply what you learned from the videos, and then you'll be able to upload your work to the Facebook albums to get feedback in the form of comments from us and our awesome teaching assistants, TAs. And we'll also be taking pictures of your work to critique in live videos, which some people say was like the most helpful thing. Yeah, so if some of you might have done our faux real calligraphy course in September, was that? And if you remember, we would use our iPad and like take a screenshot of someone's picture that they uploaded and draw over it exactly, this is what I would change, this is what I would do differently, this is how I would make this letter look better. And so that's similar to what we do for our critiques in the brush lettering course. Yes, lots of light bulb moments happen in those videos. Yes. So the live videos, just again, so we posted the schedule. We'll post the schedule of the live videos in case you just are curious of when they're going to happen. But if you can't attend them live, you can submit your work and your questions beforehand and then watch them after, so you don't necessarily have to attend them live in order to get the value out of it. Okay. You guys have any other questions? Let me just scroll through here to see if we missed any. So we do have lots of information on that link, which I will, it's lovelyloops.com/BLB, so that's where you can find the information. Yay! We're so excited to work with you, Roxanne. Yeah, so we have the separate private Facebook group for students, and we will be admitting everyone on the same day all at once so that you can all introduce yourselves and create your personal Facebook albums. We're so excited to get started with all of you. Okay, so anyway, that link has more information and the sign up link as well. Eco lines, yes, we've definitely, actually I just got the pastel eco line brush pens in the mail today. And the Arteza.
I have never tried those, but I've seen lots of cool videos on Instagram of people using them.
Yes.
If anyone in the group has tried them, let us know what you think. So do you guys have any more questions? If you have a question, again, that you would just rather ask us separately, feel free to send us an email. We would be happy to answer it. You can also send us a Facebook message if you like. Sometimes it just depends on which form of communication you like best. But if you send us a Facebook message, sometimes we reply with a voice recording. So, okay. All right. Well, we will stick around just for another minute or two to see if there's any more questions about brush lettering bootcamp. And thank you all so much for joining the brush pen crash course. Like Jordan said earlier, we will be putting all of these videos on YouTube as well in case you want to rewatch them or share the videos with other people. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. There is a link in the email today that you can enter the giveaway. Yes, giveaway. Yep. So we will... Oh, hi, Michaela. So we'll announce the giveaway winners on Friday. So there will be 2 winners. You'll get to pick whichever of the Jillian or Jordan set you like best, and we will... You're not choosing who you like best.
I mean...
You're choosing which color pens you like best. So, like, obviously blue for winter coming up is probably...
Yeah, but pink and purple, can you really go wrong with that? If you couldn't tell, we both love these brush pen sets. So, plus the little... the pouch is perfect for holding them.
Yeah, and it's like a great deal. Like, Marker Supply is amazing. They are able to give you this, the pouch included, plus 10 brush pens for like really cheap. So even if you don't win the giveaway, still check them out.
Yep. Actually, let me just put the link. Well, we'll include the link in the giveaway in case you are interested. But yay! Thank you all so much for joining the crash course. We are so happy that you were able to join.
Yeah, and even though the crash course is over, you are still welcome to participate in this Facebook group,
yes,
however you would like. There are daily prompts for lovely letters. Right now we're doing desserts, so if you've been seeing people posting their work of these yummy desserts every day, feel free to join in whenever you'd like. We will still be doing live videos in this group periodically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do free challenges just like this every few months, so definitely stick around for the next one. And if you ever have a topic request of something that you'd be interested in learning about, we always like to learn new things so that we can teach you. We also have some pretty amazing artists in the group who do guest demonstrations that maybe they can teach something. Or if you have an amazing skill, you can reach out to us if you'd like to share about it in the group as well. All right, thank you everyone so much. Again, if you have any questions about brush lettering bootcamp, we're so excited for everyone who has already signed up. You're gonna get sick of us after hanging out with us for 6 weeks, but
I have to hang out with her every day.
But you're gonna be so amazed at your progress, and we will talk to you guys later.
All right, bye.